Hey everyone, Sam back once again, and today we've got the full review of the HTC Titan. So as you all know, it does run Windows Phone, which is 7.5 at the moment, which is called Mango. Now for those that are not aware, obviously Windows or Microsoft, it's an operating system that's not super popular at the moment, but going on my judgment of this, what I'm playing with this phone specifically, I can see it definitely getting some traction going into 2012. Anyway, let's talk about the Titan, because that's what you're here to try and, to listen about. So first of all, we'll take you around the specifications of this actual device. It does have a 4.7 inch LCD touchscreen at the front, which is a resolution of WVGA. As you can see there, it does have your 3 capacitive buttons, which is, if I can try and get you that there. As you see there, it's got the back, home and search. Underneath the hood, it's running a 1.5 GHz single core processor. Yes, it's a single core, and we'll come to that in just a moment. It also runs 512 megabytes of RAM, so it doesn't sound super impressive, but as we go along through the review, you'll kind of see that the specifications on this phone don't really matter, which is a bit of a surprise for me, and a surprise for a lot of you probably watching this right now. Anyway, it does come with 16 gigabytes of internal storage, but you can only use about 12.5 gigabytes of that due to the phone taking up the rest of the storage from that. So if you're thinking, I want to put loads of music on there, you're not going to be able to put your whole music collection on here. You'll be able to put some on, and obviously chop and change, and go from there. So as just more than while on the back of the device, as you can see there, it has got an 8 megapixel camera, which is capable of taking videos up to 720p in high definition. It does have your dual LED flash, and obviously your speaker grill there. It does also have a front-facing camera, which is a 1.3 megapixel camera, as you see there. So, as I said, the specifications don't sound great, but what I'll do is I'll explain to you, and as we're going through the review, as to, does it really matter about specifications? Well, you'll soon see. So this is the lock screen, and this is one of the nicest things I like about Windows Phone, is this here. Now, it sounds a bit strange, but it's just really nice. So you slide it up, job done, you're into your phone. Now on here, this is what's basically known as the Metro interface, and it's all live tiles. So each one of these are live. So as you'll see here, throughout that, all my people, they keep changing, and they'll keep, changing around. Again, with that like that up there, it'll tell me, right, that's me, and it'll tell me how many updates we've currently got. And it just goes round and round and round, which I got to be honest with you, I think it's a nice little take on it. Effectively, these are widgets, so anyone that's coming from Android, these are effectively, they're called live tiles, but all they are is widgets, but, with a set frame. So you can have a normal 1x1, or you can have a 2x1, and they're the different size widgets you can have. Now they are customizable, so as an example, you don't get like this on a standard. So to move it around, basically tap and hold, drag it around. Let's say you want to drop it underneath it, you could drop it there. I'm not going to do that, I'm going to put it back, tap away, and then tap back, job done. So again, it's very customizable, and you can do quite a lot with it. As you'll see off the bat there, it is very, very fluid. So something I've been very, very impressed with. But honestly, it looks a bit washed out as a screen at the moment, and that's due to, I've got the actual brightness up to full. So we'll turn it down a little bit just to see if you can possibly see, see if you can see anything better on there. Now, the one thing I don't like about Windows Phone is this here, is that you don't have like a slider to do your own specific brightness. You only get 3 options. Now in this case, you get high, you get medium, and you get low. So we'll stick it on medium. So hopefully that comes off pretty decent. So go back to the home. So hopefully you can see that a little bit better now, so it doesn't look as washed out. And now what we're going to talk about is basically the basics you get on the phone. So obviously you do get your Me. So if you go into there, what it does, it aggregates all your stuff from, let's say, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. It does quite a few different things as well. And to go from one part to the other, unlike a lot of other applications where you have like your little buttons down here, or at the top for Android, is you basically swipe through it. So as you can see here, basically that's my home. It's like, right, I can post a message, and you can do it, right, what do I want to post it to? Do I want to post it to Windows Live, Facebook or Twitter? At the moment I'm linked up to all 3 of those. So just go back, you can then check in. So then you can basically find, use your current location, check in, and again tell people where you are. and then set a chat status, so you can be available, busy, away, appear offline, or be offline. So I'm offline at the moment. So as I said, basically to go to notifications, you swipe. Now, you know, it's a bit of a different take on it. I know a lot of our applications, again, generally have like a buttons down here to go from one to the other, and you go like that. Now, if you want to, you can just tap notifications as well, and it will take you to it. But I like having that little, you know, that nice little swipe. As you can see there, it's got all your different, you know, all your different aggregated tweets, Facebook, whatever it might be. And then you go to what's new. So it's got my updates and obviously other people's updates as well. And then you go to profile again. So that's the Me application, and I got to be honest, I've used it a hell of a lot more than I thought I was going to when I first got the phone. I thought, yeah, I'm probably not going to use that. But it's a cool way to basically aggregate everything into one. I mean, I didn't really think I was going to use this application as much as I have been, but basically you turn the phone on and go, right, we know, what's my new notifications? So you see at the top it is looking for new notifications, and it's like, right, yep, no new notifications. So currently my latest one on there is basically Lexi Doodle decides to say some guy just whistled at me. Wolf whistled? It sounds strange to say it like that. Not the right kind of guy. Fair enough. And you can see that's from Facebook. So another one will be Twitter. So as an example, Alex Kurtz decided to say, somehow, this in the Galaxy Nexus. And again, that's from Twitter about an hour ago. So, you know, it pulls them all in together, and it does a very, very good job of it. It makes them all, you know, a seamless integration with the operating system. Obviously, the next one will be your phone dialer. So basically, you can click that there. So we'll give you a bit closer look. You see, if you tap that one there, it takes you to your voicemail. This one here will then bring up your whole dial pad. And I must say, the dial pad itself is really, really just easy to use. Once again, and it sounds, you know, very simple to say that, but what I mean by that is that, you know, nice big buttons, and it's very, very fast. You know, there's no lag. So as I was saying previously, you're thinking, ooh, 1.5 gigahertz. Again, don't worry about that. It's not going to be an issue for you. Like this one here, will then take you to your contacts. So obviously then you got all your people, and you can swipe to the next one and go, right, what's new? So this is my contacts there. So, and again, so my contacts, and basically it's pulling in from Twitter again. Once again, pretty cool. All seamless integration. The people, you can then go through it and go, right, well, I want to see people in the, I don't know, in the Y category. So boom, there you go. It's got the people just in my Y category. So as we go back out of there, you can then do search. So you can basically search for any previous calls, any contacts, you name it. You can do it all search straight away in that there. So we'll come out of the actual phone itself. So now we're just going to show you the People Hub, which you'll notice is exactly the same as when you're in the dialer. So there's two ways to get to it. If you're in the dialer, you can basically go, alright, let's have a look at this. Take straight to the People Hub and you can go from there. Alternatively, you can click the People Hub and job done, and you're straight in there, you know, straight away. So again, very, very seamless, very, very nice and easy to use. So as we go down, I'm just going to show you the main applications that you do get built in. So your messaging, very, very nice messaging is this one. So you can have your threads. So let's say, you know, for example, I got an update from 3 today. I'm basically just saying blah, blah, blah. And if I want to reply to that, tap in there and start typing away. We'll come to the keyboard in just a little bit. And you see that it does it all in threads. And then you can do it online. So basically what you can do is you kind of have it with your Windows Live Messenger, or MSN Messages, a lot of us used to call it. And basically have your chats within there. And obviously go back to your threads. But I think it's cool that you can have all your chats, you know, all within the same application. Which, you know, again, very, very seamless, and it all makes it part of one operating system. Something I've been very impressed with myself.